Catherine Cook, Executive Director here with a few tips for you before your first party. I know you already have so much going on in your brain right now that you're trying to keep track of before that first party. Plus, I'm sure you're crazy excited because it's your first party and that's a huge deal. But I have just a couple of tips to help make your party go a little bit more smoothly. First of all, you have all of those business materials that came in your presentation pack. Order forms, catalogs, you can have it all, brochures, hostess rewards brochures. You want to make sure that your contact information is on all of that material before you start handing it out. Now, you can print out mailing labels from your own computer, or I purchased a stamp a couple of years ago, and so I actually just stamp my order forms. I stamp the first page and then the yellow copy because, of course, the yellow copy is what the clients are going to get. And that makes it super simple for them to know how to contact you if they need a refill or something like that. Things I encourage you to have on your contact information: your name, of course, your phone number, email address, website address. A few other things you could throw on there, like if you have a Facebook address or a YouTube channel, something like that. But keep it simple, make sure they know how to contact you. Something else about that order form that is very special is that it has a wish list on it. It's right here. That wish list, I highly encourage you to encourage your clients to fill it out at the party. And I know that you may have a little bit of trouble, you're not really sure how to word that. So this is exactly my spiel, so you know what to say to them. All right, guys, while you're filling out the top of that order form, I also want to point out to you the left side of your order form. That section called wish list, that's your note-taking area. That is your area to write down anything and everything that you see this evening that intrigued you. Now, it's not obligating you to buy the 20 things you're going to write down. However, I am going to show you 15 to 20 products, and I don't get the catalogs out until after the party is over. You're going to forget what you liked by the time I get about 3 products in. So I promise you, if you take notes as we go, that will make it so much easier for you when you're referencing the catalogs later. Not to mention, you actually get a copy of this wish list at the end of the evening. So if for some reason you don't purchase everything off of that list tonight, you have an idea for online shopping for later. So I found that to be very useful because that wish list comes very much in handy for you in the consultation room. Because a lot of times you can look at that wish list and say, oh, you had Pure Instinct down. Was that something else you wanted to add? Sometimes it is and sometimes it isn't. But if you don't ask, the answer is always no. A couple other tips for you. You're only going to want to show between 15 and 20 products. You do not want to show everything that came in your presentation pack. I know you got so much exciting stuff and you're dying to show it all. But you want to keep your actual presentation to about 30 minutes. So showing 15 to 20 products, number one, doesn't overwhelm you as a new consultant, and it doesn't overwhelm your clients either because they haven't just seen 40 products. So trust me that you definitely want to try and keep it 20 items or less to keep your time frame down. That also gives you ample time for your clients to look through the catalogs and to have time with you in the consultation room and not feel rushed and need to get out of the hostess's house because it's 10 or 11 o'clock already. A couple of other tips for you: that you do want to let your guests know what the time frame is going to be for their products to arrive. So until you figure out how long shipping takes to get to your particular destination, I highly recommend that you tell them it's going to be about 14 days for delivery. And of course, those deliveries do generally come directly via UPS right to their front door. But you do want to make sure that they know the time frame. Now, if you get their products ordered right away and they get them within 7 days, that's awesome. They're super excited that they got their products way earlier than they thought they were going to. But you always want to make sure that you under-promise and over-deliver. So don't tell them 7 days, because then if it takes 10, they're not happy with you. So tell them 14, and then if it shows up in 7, you're a rock star. So something else to keep in mind is that you do want to make sure that you're mentioning the opportunity to book a party with you at least 3 times. And of course, we do have booking activities, and you can watch Brooke Reinertson's video on that. That will be super helpful to you. But you also want to overtly mention it throughout your spiel. Perhaps you're showing the Lalo Soraya and somebody's like, oh my gosh, I love that. Oh, but I'm sure it's pricey. You just say something along the lines of, oh my gosh, that's why you host a party of your own. It's awesome. You get free and discounted products when you host a party. So that lets them know right there, maybe I should kind of host a party. Let's see what I can get discounted. Something else that I always try to mention during my parties is that there is a 90-day warranty against defective and faulty products. Now, of course, as you guys can imagine, all sales are final because of this type of product. We certainly don't want to be working the returns counter. So I'm going to tell you exactly how I present that to my clients during the party. I usually do this towards the very end of the party when I'm letting them know that I'm going to be following up with them to make sure that they've received their products, that they're happy with their products, etc. So here's exactly what I say. Okay, guys, as you can imagine, with this type of product, all sales are final. None of you want to work the returns counter at Vibrator World, and I certainly do not want to either. However, with that being said, I do want to make sure that you know that there is a 90-day warranty from the date of purchase against defective items. So if for some reason you get a product and it's not working properly, let me know. You can clean it, bag it, get it back to me. I send it back to corporate. You get a replacement absolutely free of charge. So 90 days from the date of purchase, if it's not working, get it back to me. I send it back to corporate. Something else that I always like to make sure that the guests know is that all ordering is going to be private. You absolutely want to have a consultation room all the time, and it needs to be private. I promise you that it will hurt your sales and it will hurt the confidential feel of your party even if everybody says out in the ordering room, oh my gosh, we don't care, we're not shy. Have a private consultation room. There are people who are going to want to ask you questions, and no matter if they say in public that they're totally fine letting everybody know their business, they may really actually want to talk to you in private. And it's much easier for you to connect with somebody one-on-one and ask them if they would like to become a consultant, or if they would like to host a party with you, or maybe they have some particular concern about their sex life and they really want to discuss it with you and not in front of their 20 friends. So absolutely insist on the private consultation room as well. You would definitely want to make sure you maintain that confidentiality. All right, 2 last tips for you. If you're planning to accept credit card payments at your party and you're wanting to use a third-party processor like Square or PayPal, make sure that you have set up your account online prior to the party and also that you have downloaded the app to your smartphone prior to the party. You want to familiarize yourself with that app before you get with that first client in the consultation room. It'll help save you time and maybe a little bit of frustration. Now, if you don't want to use Square or PayPal, that's totally fine. You can accept Visa, MasterCard, and Discover. Fill out the bottom of the order form, make sure that your client has signed it. You just process them directly on PassionNet when you're inputting the orders. So absolutely your choice, but if you're planning to use Square or PayPal, just make sure you've got your account and app ready to go before your party. And last but not least, I just want to discuss setup with time with you. If you check out the document, Pack Your Way to Success, you'll see a proper way to pack that bag that you got in your presentation kit. And remember, you're only packing in there the items that you plan to take to your party and show at your party. The items that you're not presenting that night, leave them at home. Like it'll, number 1, just take up room in your bag, but number 2, it'll then tempt you to start showing those other products, which takes more time and can again overwhelm your clients. So only pack the things in that bag that you're planning to show. And literally my presentation setup is I walk in the door and I unzip my bag. I keep all of my lotions and potions in the open side of the bag, and then my toys are in the plastic sleeve side of the bag. So I unzip the lotion and potion part, I do my presentation, I take an item out, I pass it around, talk about it, put it right back in my bag. Pull out the next product, talk about it, pass it around, put it right back in my bag. I do that with all my lotions and potions. Then I flip the bag around, unzip the portion where the toys are. Same thing. Talk about a toy, pass it around, put it back in. Talk about a toy, pass it around, put it back in. So literally my setup and teardown time are like 30 seconds each. So highly recommend that you keep it simple. No need for a tablecloth, any of that jazz. Keep it simple. It makes you look very duplicatable. So again, here are just some simple tips for you to make that first party go a little bit more smoothly. You're going to be amazing, and I can't wait to hear how your party went. Knock 'em dead.